Welcome, everyone, to episode 89 of Dimes on Duval. He's Mike Yazji. I'm Keith Manzi, bringing you our, I don't want to call it mock draft episode, but kind of our pre-draft review episode. So you can listen to it before and get your ideas of what we think of the draft. Or you can listen to it after the draft and make fun of us for being completely wrong.
That's probably the more accurate one.
This will be up 4/26. The draft is 4/27. So
You have a day and a half to listen to it, and then after that, you have it forever to make fun of us because it's going to be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything for a long, long time.
yeah, as long as we don't somehow, some way lose everything, it'll be there for eternity. So I don't want to jump right in. So first I want to say happy birthday, Mike.
Thanks. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
The in-person birthday wish.
And we calculated this a couple years ago. I was born at 4:42 p.m. on the 23rd. Do you remember what time you were born on?
12 p.m.
12 p.m. Okay,
Like
so
on the dot.
You're better at math than me.
From 4:40.
4:42 p.m.
Okay.
to when you were born. How far apart are we actually?
So 12 to 12 at 12 hours. So then you do 7 hours, 19 hours and 15 minutes around that ballpark.
Nice.
So
It's
Keith
not
is
even a full day.
Keith is 19 hours older than me. And he rubs it in my face every year. Except next year.
I didn't this year?
Next year I'm going to rub it in your face.
I didn't this year though.
I know.
I made sure not to.
Although there's two text messages. I don't know if you've had some funny birthday texts. One is shout out to two people. One of them I'm not going to be able to. I don't want to play the voice message on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
That is my friend George. And then the second one is a loyal listener, Will. He texted me, and let me pull up the exact text message. I know his ass is older than me, but
Are both of them 30 and older?
no, one of them's younger than me.
Ah.
No, his is a more inappropriate message. So.
Gotcha.
But Will texted me, happy birthday, young man, LOL. One more year, and then I'll help you register for your AARP membership. So shout out to Will, even though I know you're older than me. So I'll be joining your club very soon.
Yeah, that's why he was going to help you. He has the experience.
Exactly.
Hey, do you remember what hospital you were born in?
I want to say Memorial, but I'm not 100% sure.
That wasn't mine. I think I was St. Vincent's. I don't remember either.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But yeah, did you do anything for your birthday?
Worked. Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Monday birthday.
Mine was a Monday. So, but luckily for me, the weekend before was a great weekend. Julia came into town, and we hung out all weekend, and her parents and my parents met, so that was good. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yep, so that was a fun weekend. It was a busy weekend, but it was a fun time. What about you?
I test drove some cars. As you know, I've been in the market for a little while now, and test drove a Kia Sportage and a Honda CR-V hybrid. And they're both very nice, but I'm actually leaning towards the Kia. If you want to blast me in the comments, you go right ahead, but I test drove them both, and I've had a Honda before. I'm a very Honda loyalist kind of guy, but that Kia that was smooth as butter.
Not even that. You also did something else this weekend that I saw that I asked you about pre-show.
I already forgot.
What's on your wrist?
Oh, yeah, I got my second tattoo of my 28th year or whatever. I got shout out to the little sister, Julia.
No relation.
Not
my girlfriend.
She is a tattoo artist. If you are in the market for tattoos, you can look at her work at Jules Tattoos, Jules Tattoos, on Instagram. She does great work. She put a little rubber band on my wrist. As some of you might know, you probably don't pay attention, but I've worn a rubber band or a bracelet or something on my right wrist for a very, very long time, and now I have it forever immortalized on me with the 23 on there to signify the date of my birth and my favorite number.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, and I had some awesome barbecue. Bearded pig, baby.
There you go. Speaking of which, we need to get dinner soon. Not today, but another time.
I was going to say, please not today. It's already 8:30.
No, it's
late.
We're
struggling. Yeah. But, hey, it is what it is. You had to work. You're a busy man.
Yep.
I get it.
I had to show houses, so let's get this episode on the road.
Absolutely. First things first. Before we get into the Jaguars, Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year. receives 98 of the 100 first place votes, rightfully given to him.
Should have been unanimous.
Yeah, I had some beef with a friend of mine, Alma, about some of the discussions from Andy Larson, who is the Utah Jazz beat reporter.
But who's the other one that voted against?
I do not know. They probably haven't released it yet. We'll see, but
Give it about a week
it
or
wasn't
two.
a vote for Jalen Williams, so it was 2 for Walker, I assume. But hey, for all you stat nerds out there, love stats. They're really cool. But Paolo had a record-setting rookie campaign with his raw stats, his points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game. He's an elite company with like LeBron and Luka and stuff like that. So
Let's hope he's better than Luka.
I hope so too. But real quick before we jump off this topic, the 2 other rookie of the years for the Orlando Magic are
Dwight Howard.
no.
Who won it his year? Was it Emeka Okafor?
Probably.
Oh God.
I'm gonna look that up while you look.
Shaq is one of them.
Yep.
Shaq is one of them, and I want to say it is. I don't think it was Penny, was it?
Nope.
No, I didn't think so. Oh, Mike Miller.
Mike Miller.
Yeah, I remember Mike Miller.
What year was Dwight?
04.
04. Emeka Okafor.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was the only relevance he ever had in the NBA.
Yep. Mike Miller carved himself out a decent career. I'm pretty sure he got a ring in Miami.
I think so. Yeah.
With
and
LeBron.
now he's actually Paolo's agent.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I am almost positive Mike Miller is Paolo Banchero's agent.
I'm on his Wikipedia page right now.
Paolo Banchero.
He was hired as an assistant coach under Penny in Memphis in 2018, but
Paolo
resigned in
Banchero
2020.
agent is Mike Miller. Yep, Mike Miller was there at the draft.
that's pretty cool.
Yep. So a double connection to Orlando. I'll take it. Mike Miller, I'm sure, was like, "You got nothing, Rook, on me."
Hey, well, Mike Miller has shooting camp too, so
Yeah.
you need to work on your shot, Mike. I know you do, so go see him.
I need to work on my basketball in general.
You and me both. All right, enough basketball, enough birthday banter. Let's talk some Jaguars, Bubba.
Let's do it. And don't call me Bubba. What the hell?
Buddy boy.
No, we're not doing the top or the worst ways to be called something. What was it? Part of my take today, Mount Rushmore of names to call someone.
I have
It was
no
like
idea.
Bubba, Pal, Champ, Sport,
Champ is terrible.
Sport,
Sport is rough.
Kid. There's just other names. I'm like, oh my, Pal. No, I'm good. Anyway,
Okay. Brother?
sure, that's more acceptable than Bubba.
Mr. Yazji?
No one. I hope no one ever calls me that.
All right. Sorry. Off topic. So, Trent Baalke says there are 127 players on their draft board as of 5 days ago.
I believe it.
There are other fallbacks, but they're really fixated on that 127. Of those 127, I'm going to go through some of the mock drafts that have been posted all over the internet. And I'd like you to give your thoughts on these people's takes. Sound good?
Okay. Do you want me to give like a grade on the thought or the actual player, or do we want to go like give actual thought process on where they're thinking?
That one. Yeah,
Okay.
the second one.
Okay.
All right. So first up, we have from Jacksonville.com. That's going to be Demetrius Harvey. First round, 24th overall, as we all know is our pick. Osiris Torrance, guard from Florida.
Now, I don't know if does he have a whole mock draft or just saying like who he thinks is going to be taken?
This is the Jaguars mock draft.
Okay, so
That's our first round pick. Do
does
you
he
want to look?
I would say,
You want
does
me
he
to look?
cite like where he's getting that availability? Because I want to see who he picked Torrance over. It doesn't say.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's not a big deal. It might be a series of some sort, but I mean, I like Osiris Torrance. I mentioned him before on our draft prospects to end the shows in the last 6 months? Yeah.
Yes.
I mentioned his name in January of this year. I do think he's a very good fit for the Jags. We need an offensive guard, potential offensive tackle, but he'll probably be playing right guard. Or I'm sorry. opposite of
Chatley?
no, he'd be
Barch?
replacing Shatley.
Barch?
Who's the
Um,
guard we signed from Washington? Why am I
Scherf?
blanking? Yes, opposite Scherf. Thank you. So I do believe Osiris Torrance would be a great fit. Now, I don't know if he'll be there at 24 because he could be there at 24, but he might actually fall to the late second. He might be there in the second round, but I highly doubt that. So if you believe in him, I would take him at 24.
I mean, our second round pick is 56. I don't think he'd last
Yeah, that's
that
a long
long.
time. 30 picks is a long time.
Yeah.
But I do believe Osiris Torrance would be a good pick. So if Osiris Torrance was there, obviously not knowing who would be taken after Osiris, I would give that a B+ grade just because I don't think offensive line is the number one need. But I do believe it is a very good fit.
Okay. Lou Scataglia from withthefirstpick.com picks Keely Ringo, cornerback from Georgia.
I'm going to ask you again. Is there a draft?
doesn't.
Nothing? See, for me, I don't know if I would take Ringo that early. I think Ringo's a good player. I mean, he was a very good player for Georgia, but let's say, if Joey Porter's still available, if somehow Cam Smith should be available, if somehow Christian Gonzalez or Devin Witherspoon somehow fall, or even Deontay Banks, I would take them all over Keely Ringo. Sorry, I could blank on the name.
Sorry.
But I think Ringo he could possibly be there in the second round at 56. I really think he could fall to the mid-second to late second. This corner is so deep, so I don't see why he would. I would not take him at 24 unless all those other corners are taken, and even then I'm still skeptical because I would prefer other needs. Depends on edge, offensive line. Like I would take Osiris Torrance over Keely Ringo.
Well, I've never heard of withthefirstpick.com anyway, so maybe that's why he picked him.
Maybe
trying to be different.
try to be
like
hot
that.
takey.
Yeah. Big Cat Country.
Oh, let me give a grade on that pick.
Oh, yeah.
I give that a C+ because
Okay.
I think you can find better.
Okay. You've got Big Cat Country with a name that we've been throwing around a lot lately. Alabama safety Brian Branch.
That's the number one player I've seen around to Jaguars.
Is that your number one player?
My number one player?
You don't have to say your number one player right now if you don't want to, but do you think he's top 3?
Okay, are you talking about like on the board or like in that range?
No, for you that you want us to take.
Of the potential people that will more like 90% chance of being there.
It's so much harder now that we're in the 24th pick.
Yeah,
and
it's
not
not
the
like a
first
top
pick,
5
you know?
pick. Like it's
Yeah.
not like we know the top 4 picks are going to be quarterbacks. Like we don't know.
Yeah.
If Brian Branch is there, he would be my number one available pick, no matter who. Like unless obviously one of the studs like Jalen Carter or Will Anderson or even Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter. If they fall, different story. But Brian Branch is my number one thought or my number one choice compared to the players like Osiris Torrance, like we just mentioned,
Right.
or Keely Ringo, or players that are going to come up. I've seen Brian Brzee. I take Brian Branch over all those players. Brian Branch is definitely my number one in that availability.
Okay, moving on. Daniel Jeremiah has us Deontay Banks, cornerback from Maryland. He crushed his combine workout.
Now here's a guy. No, I'm kidding. Chris Collinsworth. No, I really do like Deontay Banks, and it'd be very cool. Now this is just completely non-football related, but imagine if we took Deontay Banks, who will be playing at TIAA Bank Field. So the pun on names would be
Banks at the bank.
or
Yeah.
like
Social media team
lock
would
down
love
the
that.
banks, like or that'll be his nickname. Like you know how Revis Island was a thing.
Yeah.
Lock down the banks, same thing. Trademarked by Dimes on Duval. But I do think Deontay Banks will be a very good fit. He is a good corner. He was very good at Maryland. Now, will he dude, what worries me about corners, there's a time frame between the 15 to 21 range. Teams need corner. The Jets need a corner. Washington will need a corner. Pittsburgh, God knows they need a corner. Detroit needs everything on defense. Tampa Bay is rebuilding, so it would not surprise me if they get a corner. Seattle, probably not a corner, but they need a defensive line. Chargers, well, we saw what Trevor did to them. The Ravens need receiver, so I'm not worried about the Ravens as much. Minnesota might need a corner. There's a few teams ahead of us that there might be a run on corners. Yeah. So corners may not be there. We will see what happens, but I do believe Deontay Banks will be a good fit if he does get picked. So Keely Ringo, I think I gave a C. And then who was the player after that?
After Ringo?
Yeah.
Was
Brian Branch. Brian Branch, I'm giving that an A. And Deontay Banks, I'm giving that a A-. I really do like Deontay Banks.
The pick before that, since you said Minnesota might need a corner, they have them taking Hendon Hooker.
Oh, yeah, Daniel Jeremiah did have that because they believe, why not? Kirk Cousins will be probably cut after this year. So
there has been talks of the Vikings trading up and doing something very, very silly and getting a Levis or Richardson.
I highly doubt they move up the top 4.
I would love it, though. Come on. As a I'm going to call myself a halfway Packers fan. That would be funny.
Well, if they take Levis, buddy, I don't know.
They have the Ravens taking Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah, again, Ravens, they need to take a receiver, personally. Mm-hmm. I think they need to take a receiver. But
again, right before that, Zay Flowers goes and Jordan Addison goes.
Yeah, so it's that area is a receiver corner heavy receiver corner heavy section of the draft. So I don't know. We'll see what happens Thursday night, but I'm very interested to see the corner. Once one corner goes, I guarantee you it's going to be a run of corners.
Okay, here's just a couple that I'm just going to throw at you. You can just tell me hell yes or hell no or whatever you want to say about him. Dalton Kincaid.
Hell no.
Tight end out of Utah, for those of you that didn't know. Broderick Jones, offensive tackle, Georgia.
Hell yes. I think he's one of the best offensive tackles in the class.
I think he goes too early.
I think he's going to be a top 15 pick guaranteed, but man, if he falls, you take him. You absolutely take him. I think he's the second best offensive tackle or maybe the number one offensive tackle in this class because there's Paris Johnson Jr., there is Broderick Jones, and there's Peter Skoronski. Those three are going to go – give it 3 years. We'll be talking about one of those guys as being one of the top ones in the
in this
NFL draft. Yeah.
Mazzie Smith from Michigan, D tackle.
He's athletic as hell, but I just don't. He's like, we don't need another Trayvon Walker.
Agreed.
Athleticism.
I don't want to draft a guy in the
I'm
first
scared
round.
to take an edge again because we've taken 3 edge players in the 3 of the last 4 drafts, and they've turned to be 1 terrible bust, 1 mid player at best, and 2 in the third is too early to be determined.
Okay.
And that's Trayvon. And if you don't know who I'm associating with what, you need to just look up the last 3 years.
So take some of those other, the guys that we talked about that you gave good grades to are all off the board. You taking Jordan Addison or Zay Flowers if they're on the board?
Addison over Flowers.
Addison over Flowers. Okay. That's all I wanted from that.
So, if you're telling me Brian Branch is gone, you're telling me Osiris Torrance is gone, you're telling me
all the guys that we just named plus
Deontay Banks,
Joey Porter Jr. is gone.
Porter. God, you're making it hard.
Yeah.
Is Bijan there?
Okay, yeah, Bijan's there. You taking Bijan?
I would call and see who the hell wants Bijan Robinson because you're going to want a team who needs a running back, a.k.a. Buffalo, a.k.a. the Chargers, if they decide to move on from Austin Eckler.
Eckler gets traded draft night, yes or no? I say yes.
I say no. It's hard to move a player on draft night, especially a player of that caliber. Does DeAndre Hopkins get traded draft night? He's the one who's been really wanting out for a lot longer.
I'm going to say yes to that, too.
I think he gets traded to the Patriots draft night.
That'd be funny.
I don't know why I feel like the Patriots are about to get very good real quick, and I'm very over it.
They actually, in Daniel Jeremiah's, he has Bijan Robinson going to the Patriots.
That 14. Would be disgusting because you're telling that if they trade for Hopkins, you have DeAndre Hopkins on one side, you have Juju Smith-Schuster on the other side, you have Bijan Robinson in the backfield.
Yeah, but what about their quarterback?
That's where it gets interesting. So
you're stuck with Mac Jones.
So I did a little mock draft, just for shits and giggles.
Why not?
Me and my 2 cousins, we usually share our mock drafts. We have an app. We just go on, create a draft. I'll tell you, I have 5 trades happening in this thing.
5 trades, huh?
Yes. And I have the Jaguars actually trading. Oh no, they're sticking at their pick. So at the time of their pick, they have Brian Branch, Zay Flowers, B.J. Ojolari, Anton Harrison, Cam Smith, Osiris Torrance, and 2 other names I'm not going to pronounce. Yeah, I took Brian Branch over all of them. Osiris Torrance fell at 29. Like, I can see Osiris Torrance falling, but yeah, no, I don't know. I just don't see the Jags passing on Brian Branch if he's there. He's the perfect fit for this defense. You put Darius Williams on the number 2. You put Brian Branch in the slot, and you have Tyson Campbell on the outside. Safeties, you can replace Rayshon Jenkins after this year, potentially, or even see if Cisco's even worth it. If Cisco's worth an extension, you extend him. If not, you let him go. You put in Brian Branch to replace him. So they've got the idea. They just need to build this defense back up because the offense is pretty okay, minus offensive line, but we'll see.
We shall see.
I'm excited for Thursday.
It's gonna be a great time. And
you know what? I was driving. Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I was driving over here, and I was thinking. I was like, okay, what am I doing Thursday night? I've got to find out what the hell I'm doing for the draft. The draft party at the stadium sold out. So
good.
It's good, but also like, do I want to be downtown? You're not gonna get out of downtown until probably 12 o'clock at night.
I mean,
unless the Jags trade up.
I always offer, my situation, the Skyler move, as I call it. Come park here, scooter.
No. I'm not talking about that. Well, I guess that's true, but
it would get you out of downtown faster. It's just you just have to pay for the scooter.
Yeah, I'm cheap. But I was thinking, I was like, last time the Jags were picking that late was when we took Travis Etienne, and I remember where I was. We took Trevor. We were like, okay, we are not waiting until 21 to be in the stadium. We were all starving because we got there like 5:30 because we want to have good seats. We were at the stadium. It was in the stadium.
You went to the Ale House.
Yes, I went to Ale House on South Side.
I remember. Because I was still at the stadium with Osquay.
Yes.
We stayed. We were one of the few that actually stayed and waited for that pick to happen because I was with him and his mom, and we were just kind of like, we don't have to leave right now, do we? No? Okay, we'll just stick around. I had eaten. He had eaten. So we were okay on that front. But, yeah. That was. I remember being hyped for that. I was like,
I was very confused. I was very confused because you just had James Robinson at 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So it really worries me that we might have a chance at Bijan Robinson. So I don't know. If we take Bijan Robinson, oh brother, I have no clue what the hell that offense is going to look like. But that offense is going to be very electric.
Yes. All right. Before we shut things down here, I just want to go over some quick trades that Fansided came up with for Black and Teal. And I'm going to read them off to you. And
okay,
we're going to see what you think of them. There's just 3 trades. So this first one is with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles will give us pick number 10. Is there anybody at 10 that seems that enticing to trade up for, you think? But we give them pick 24, 56, and 202.
Wait, say that trade one more time.
Jaguars receive pick number 10 from the Eagles.
Uh-huh.
Eagles receive the 24th pick, the 56th pick, and the pick 202.
202 is whatever. 24. So you're giving the first and second for this guy, which means they're probably going up after a receiver or a corner. So if I had to guess, they're going up to get Jackson Smith and Jigba.
This thing says maybe it's a receiver, an offensive lineman, or a defensive.
I would never
fuck the
trade
pass
up.
rusher. I'm sorry. I'm still scarred from that. So.
If Jackson Smith and Jigba you trade up to get him, you are guaranteed a. I
would cry.
Chris Olave is one of my favorite receivers in the NFL. Now,
mm-hmm.
He and Garrett Wilson both said in Ohio State. They both went to Ohio State. They both said Jackson Smith and Jigba is the more athletic, the better, and the better player and the better route runner than those two. And those two are very damn good. It's saying a lot for the 2 stud receivers in the NFL now, saying that someone coming up is better. And on top of that, guess who's coming next year? Marvin Harrison Jr., who could be better than Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
Ohio State is pumping out receivers, and they are studs. All thanks to Brian Hartline, but that's another topic for another day.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Ohio State's is about to be receiver U very shortly.
Crazy.
Ooh.
So, I'm just basing it off of
that
Peter
trade?
Schrager's.
Off that trade, I'm taking that trade all day. And if it's Jackson Smith and Jigba at 10.
Peter Schrager has at and Daniel Jeremiah both have Jackson Smith and Jigba available at 10. So, yeah, I'd be down for that too.
I would take Jackson Smith and Jigba. Say, F the defense. It's all about scoring points. Who's going to stop Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, and Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess what? After next year, you can move on from Zay Jones and have 3 young, not young Calvin Ridley anymore, but still great receivers, and just have the speedster, have the big play threat, and also the most reliable possession receiver in Christian Kirk. And Zay Jones is great. Also, on top of that, Evan Ingram.
Yeah,
I
was waiting for you to say Evan.
I'm telling you, if you can get that offense, who is stopping them?
It's insane.
Other than
as long as we can protect the quarterback.
Other than a word I'm not going to say on air. But we are... God, I'm ready for this year.
Me too.
I'm ready. I'm ready for Thursday night.
You naming all of those receivers actually makes this next one so much funnier to me. So you ready for the next one?
Next trade offer?
The next trade offer?
Okay.
This is between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We trade for Mike Evans.
Mike Evans comes to Jacksonville as we give up pick 56 and a future 4th rounder.
Oh, my God.
You just went on a whole receiver rant.
Hang on. So you're telling me we trade 56, a second-round pick.
Yep.
And what
and
pick?
A future 4th.
Future 4th.
So we'll just say 2024 4th.
So it'll be next year's 4th. I would absolutely do. Well, I don't know if we have that because of Calvin Ridley trade.
Oh,
but
well,
sure.
You know, I'm just making it up.
I will gladly trade that for Mike Evans, and then you can say you can stay at 24. You take your defensive whatever player you want, or you can take your offensive lineman. Yep. You have your receiver Mike Evans for the next 3 years guaranteed. You have Mike Evans as a true red zone threat. Calvin Ridley is your number 2 or number 1 because he's younger than Mike Evans. Christian Kirk is still getting paid. Zay Jones would be. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Etienne. Oh my goodness. This is just wild. So you taking it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
There's not one trade so far I would not take. Okay, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Would you swap ones with... You're the Packer. You're representing the Packers.
Okay, Packers are at 15.
Now, yes. Would you swap ones with them and you send them Josh Allen? I'm sorry. The Packers take Josh Allen and 24 for 15.
For the Jaguars to get what?
15.
I
So
mean, like,
the
who
Packers
are you
sent-
targeting at 15 that you want to move up for, or just to get rid of Josh Allen?
That's my thought. But yeah.
I know. That's why I said it.
But honestly, I would get one of the corners. Give me Joey Porter.
Well, it's funny because Peter Schrager here has the Packers taking Jackson Smith and Jigba, which would be hilarious that they finally draft a receiver.
I have
after Aaron Rodgers
in my little
gone.
mock draft. I have the Packers trading up to number 8 and taking Jackson Smith and Jigba. They're literally over Aaron Rodgers, and they should be.
I think. Let me see. I'm gonna look at this. You know what? Sure. I don't think he stays that long, but I kind of want the Packers to take Paris Johnson Jr. I don't think he'll last to 24, but I think you take the chance that maybe since
Osiris Torrance could be there.
Or Osiris, yeah, exactly. So
I'd
do it.
I also can see Josh Allen being moved. Maybe not. Maybe the Jags are sticking with Allen. I don't know, but I am so ready for Thursday night.
It is going to be great. You ready for the last one?
Yep.
And then we can get out of here?
Yeah.
All right. This is between, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. I didn't pre-read these.
There's no shot with trading division, but sure, let's hear it.
It's stupid. It's Derrick Henry for pick 88.
No. I wouldn't do that.
No?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
How come?
This man is literally... We keep saying he's 1 year away from falling off a cliff. I would rather hold on to a third-round pick that has more value to this team than Derrick Henry.
I love it.
Sure, he's a local hometown kid, and that's guarantee you the reason why they put that trade out there.
Let's see. It would nice to see him join their team as he's been mentioned in some trade rumors throughout winter.
He might get traded to Philly.
The Jags may have to pay a little bit more considering their division rival, but that might be worth
That's
it.
That's also, Derrick Henry has killed us.
And Henry in Trevor Lawrence's backfield, they could become very dangerous.
Okay, running back, you never give a pick for a running back. I don't care. You can take...
Not even a 7th-round pick for a running back?
No, we took James Robinson and turned to 2,000-yard seasons. undrafted.
Well, okay.
And now he's about to be out of the
and
league.
that comes back to the running back position it's such a crapshoot. You have guys that you're like, oh, that guy's surefire, and he sucks. And vice versa.
By the way, I think Bijan's a bust. Just marking that right now on tape.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I thought it a little bit.
Bijan's a bust for the amount of hype he's
Tajay
getting.
Spears, baby. Tajay Spears.
Calling him the next freaking Saquon Barkley. Saquon was a much better player than he was. And Saquon went number 2.
I like the way Saquon's built better, too.
Well, Saquon also can't stay healthy, so...
Well, Saquon also has coaches that are not coaching him on proper footwork, and that's a whole different story for a different day.
That's a different team.
That's what's hurting him is...
That's a different team. That's not our... We don't need to worry about that damn organization.
Okay, let's see. Where are we at? We're at 30 minutes on the dot. You want to go over your draft prospects that we wrote down for so long?
Let's go.
Quick? All right.
Let's go.
This is just a simple... Do you want them on the team still or not?
At 24.
Yes.
Okay.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
If he somehow falls, yes.
Brian Breesy.
No.
He was a D-line Clemson. Michael Mayer, tight end Notre Dame.
No.
Peter Skoronski, O-tackle Northwestern.
If he somehow falls, absolutely.
Joey Porter Jr., quarterback Penn State.
Yes.
Jalen Carter, D-line UGA.
If he somehow miraculously falls, then yes, but I highly doubt he's out of the top 10.
Crossing out Jared Verse since he is coming back to Florida State.
Yeah. By the way, FSU going to the Natty next year.
But we just lost Farmer, though.
Yeah, whatever. We have enough D-line. We'll probably get someone in the portal.
We might lose another one.
We'll get another one in the portal.
Let's hope. Cam Smith, cornerback South Carolina.
Yes.
Isaiah Foskey, edge Notre Dame.
No. Iffy. Iffy.
Osiris Torrance, OL, Florida.
Yes.
I'm going to skip mine. Brian Brandt, safety, Alabama.
Yes.
All right.
One last thing.
Drop it.
Give your final prediction on the Jags pick. Just pick a player.
Brian Branch.
You're going Brian Branch? I'm going to go Deontay Banks.
Okay.
I'm going to go Deontay Banks. I feel like that's going to happen. I hope Deontay Banks does fall, and I'm going to say whether it's trade or not, he's still going to be a Jaguar. I'm hoping. I'm going to be really pissed if we trade. Actually, I wouldn't be pissed if we trade back. This is a good draft to trade back, I think.
I agree.
This is a good draft to trade back because you can get multiple players with the same pick.
Whoever drafts Anthony Richardson, LOL to you.
I think it depends on the team. If he goes to Seattle, I think he's actually perfect fit.
Okay. Let me backtrack. If you draft Anthony Richardson and expect him to start LOL
day one. Okay, expect him to start day one, I agree. Let's make a prediction. Last prediction of the night and we go home. Oh, you're already home, but where do the quarterbacks go? Top 4 quarterbacks. I don't care about anyone else. Where does Bryce Young go? Does he go Carolina, number 1?
Yes.
Okay. Where does CJ Stroud go?
2.
Houston.
Yep.
Where does Anthony Richardson go?
Where do you have him going?
Let me pull up.
I got to get my order.
I have Vegas trading up to 3 with the Cardinals and taking Anthony Richardson.
I have him going 4 to the Colts.
Okay, where do you have Will Levis?
Actually, I had Levis going. And no, Levis is going 4 to the Colts. I'm sorry.
Okay, where do you have Richardson?
Richardson's going to go.
I also have Levis to the Colts. He just screams Indianapolis to me.
He does. I mean, he just looks like Matt Ryan fit there. Peyton Manning
Matt Ryan
fit there with the look.
With just jacked arms.
Yeah.
So I have Richardson going to the Raiders, Levis going to the Colts, Stroud going to the Texans.
I have him dropping to the 7th pick.
Oh, you have him dropping. I don't think they take the chance of letting him drop to Seattle. I think Seattle's the lowest he goes.
Yeah.
God, I'm ready for Thursday.
It's going to be lit, man. I might just go up to players and grab me some double grilled Cajun
by the
ranch
way,
wings.
This actually shows how big of a joke UF is. They have 2 potential first-round picks, and they went 6 and 7. Just had to make a dig at Florida.
Why is that a dig?
Because they suck. How do you go 6 and 7 with 2 potential first-round picks?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I was trying to wait. Doesn't that mean they're doing a good job? No.
Yeah, but they went 6 and 7. So keep having hope in Billy Napier, Gator fans. Keep having hope.
Please.
He's your Willie Taggart, by the way. Just an FYI. So.
With that being said.
Oh, and F Miami. Just had to show that fan base.
I don't even know of a prospect from Miami, but I don't really care.
Yeah, because they are bums.
Thank you for listening to episode 89 of Dimes on Duval, presented by Nerdy Nuts. We are going to sign off. I'm going to edit this and plop it up as soon as possible so we can get things going for for draft night. We can go ahead and watch draft night and enjoy it. So thank you all so much. And for Mike Yaji, I'm Keith Manzi, signing off. Have a good night.
And for the last time of the 2023 NFL Draft, Deontay Banks, cornerback, Maryland.